It's your homegirl, Kara Williams, here with Kaler team at Keller Williams Realty, opening the door to all things real estate. And today we're going to talk a little more about the buying process. We're going to talk about where you look for homes to find the most updated information, and once you find a home, how to make a really competitive offer. So where do you look for houses? Well, there's so many different websites out there, Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Homes and Land. And the problem with some of these sites is they don't get their information direct from the agents. They get them from the multiple listing service that agents use to share their listings with the world. This can cause a little bit of a delay from the time that it's active on the market to the time you see it on these websites. So if you haven't already hired an agent, that is your number one step. Getting pre-qualified obviously is your second step. We do have other videos. So if you haven't done those steps, stop the video, go back and do those first. Once you're at the point of getting ready to start searching for houses, the agent that you pick should set you up a search on the multiple listing service. This is going to give you immediate notifications as soon as something falls within your criteria. So at this point, you need to know what you're looking for, what price point, what your main recommendations or requirements are for a home. So we can search those for you, and you can get immediate notifications for the properties that fit those needs. Some of those properties that are for sale are not on the MLS. These are anything that's a new build that has not yet been listed, or anything that is for sale by owner. Now, if you see something come up on the market, and those you'll typically see on like Zillow, or driving by a neighborhood, you'll see a sign in the yard. Where do you go from there? Hiring your agent is the best route to go. That agent can reach out to the seller. They can get additional information about the property. They can make sure that seller has seller's disclosures, and get all of the information and set up and schedule showings for you and walk you through those properties. So for sale by owners, new construction. New construction is another big one. We have ran into around here a lot. People aren't able to find the house that they're looking for, so they're going to build it. Great thing here is your agent can help you with that too. So they can help you pick a builder, they can help you pick a lot, and they can either walk you through the entire process. You can buy the piece of land and later build. There's lots of different options there. So if that's an option that you want to check out, it is a totally different animal than purchasing an already built property. So if that's something that may be in your game plan, have that conversation with your agent. So again, the areas that you will find the most updated information is through your agent, the multiple listing service that they set you up those searches on, for sale by owners and new builds. So those are going to be your top go-to places for the most accurate, up-to-date information. Okay, so we've talked about how to find the properties. Now what do we do once we have a property that we absolutely love and we're ready to move? So it is a seller's market, which means the sellers do have the upper hand. They have multiple people looking to buy their home. So if you're wanting to nickel and dime or nitpick or anything like that, your offer is not going to come across as strong. How do you make your offer stand up above the rest when you don't know what they're offering? Well, there's some tips and tricks that we're going to go over. Number one thing is, I'm going to continue saying this over and over and over, is get pre-approved. So there is a difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. So a pre-qualification says that you spoke with a lender, gave them basic information, and they said based on that information, you would probably qualify. A pre-approval is more of a set in stone. You've verified your employment, your verification. They have that information, and they are more definitive to say, yes, you qualify for this dollar amount of a loan. So when you submit your offer, you're going to tell that seller and that seller's agent if you are pre-approved, pre-qualified, or still have to talk to a bank. Now, if that seller gets multiple offers, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, well, this person still has to talk to the bank, and this person is only pre-qualified, not pre-approved, but this one is pre-approved and they've sent us a letter. So that is number one, how to, make your offer look really, really strong. Number two, be prepared to move fast. So that's part of the whole know your budget. If you see a house and you love it, but you've got to sleep on it for a couple of days, chances are that house is going to get bought out from underneath you. So you've got to be able to move fast. Average days on market nationwide is like 17. So definitely something you want to do. Have a real estate professional by your side because they're going to help you know what terms are more favorable in the market that you're in as to what needs to be in your offer to make it look really strong. Since we're talking about offers and the potential of those list prices being like the minimum that it's going to sell for and people continuing to bid above that list price, let's talk about appraisal gaps. What does that mean? So we'll talk about appraisals when we get a little closer to talking about the closing process. But an appraisal gap, if you're getting a loan, your lender is going to require there to be an appraisal. The appraisal is really what the fair market value is for the home. So hypothetically speaking, the house is listed at $300,000. You bid $320,000. Okay, there's about a $20,000 gap there. Now, if the appraisal comes in and says $320,000 or higher, you're good. There's no appraisal gap. Your loan is going to cover whatever you offered for the property. Now, let's say the loan appraisal comes in at $310,000. Well, now there's a $10,000 gap. If you have that $10,000 gap or more or less, what's going to happen? If there's an option to waive an appraisal, then you don't have to worry about the appraisal gap. If there is a gap, who's going to pay for it? You may want to make sure that you have the extra funds. And I'm not talking about your closing cost because your closing cost is going to be different. So additional funds above and beyond what your closing costs are to cover any expected appraisal gaps. How are you as the buyer going to know if there's an appraisal gap? Talk to your agent. I service Western South Dakota and Northeastern Wyoming. If you are outside of that area and have questions, I actually have a huge database of referral partners across the nation. So if you live somewhere else and you want more information, reach out to me. I can help you find a wonderful agent in your area. If you have questions and you're in Western South Dakota or Northeastern Wyoming, I'm your girl, 605-415-6636. Thanks so much for watching.